Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, Calm with Carlyn, Yoga and Life. Today we have a very traditional vinyasa yoga flow. This flow is for all levels and modifications will be offered. We're going to get started lying on our backs in Tabata Kanasana, so I'll meet you there when you're ready. In Tabata Kanasana, you'll bring the soles of your feet to touch and you'll just let the knees splay out wide. And if this causes extreme amounts of discomfort, it might cause a little bit, but if it's too much, just ball your hands up into fists and stick them right underneath the outer thighs. And that's just going to create a little bit more support. If you don't need or want that extra support today, just go ahead and, if it's comfortable, bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly. And we're just going to start by taking 5 deep belly breaths. So breathing into the belly and then breathing out through the mouth. And this is going to activate our parasympathetic nervous system, calming the body down and getting into the right headspace for our practice. So let's begin with our first big inhale. Fill the belly up. And exhale, let all the breath out and then pause at the bottom. And then inhale again. Exhale. Breathe in. Let go. And take 2 more on your own time. And when you've completed your final big breath, we'll just come to a more natural breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Try and make your inhales and exhales even to prepare for your practice, and come back to that breath whenever you start to feel uneasy, maybe off balance, working through something challenging either mentally or physically. And that's on and off your mat that we do that. When you're ready, bring your hands to your outsides of your thighs and just gently close the legs like a book. Hugging the knees into the chest and grabbing behind the thighs. We'll rock up to a tabletop position. And then from that tabletop position, we'll just step it right back to a downward facing dog. Let's start to move with our breath right away. Take an inhale, lift up the heels, come all the way on to the tippy toes. And then exhale, reach the heels down to the ground. They don't have to touch, but feel the energy moving towards the ground. Inhale, tippy toes. Exhale, release. You might have some ankle cracks like me. That's always good. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, heels down. One more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, heels down. Let's get the core going as we continue to sync up with our breath. Take an inhale, come forward, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog with the hips. Inhale, come forward, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 more times. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Slow articulation of the spine. Last one here, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. And from your down dog, bend the knees generously, look to the top of the mat and slowly walk your feet up to your hands. Toes to touch, keep a little gap in the heels. Bring the chest down to the thighs, bending the knees a lot, and then interlace the hands behind the back and inhale the palms up and over the head. Maybe you start to gradually straighten through the legs, but be gentle with your hamstrings. We're just starting to open up here. It's okay if the knees stay bent. Focus on the opening in the chest and the shoulders. For 3, 2, on 1, stay in the fold, just bring the fingertips back down to the ground, and then slowly roll all the way up to standing, 1 vertebrae at a time, bringing your hands to heart center when you arrive, taking a nice deep inhale, and staying for your exhale. And we'll start to flow. Inhale, sit back into your chair pose, reach the arms high. 10 toes, your weight is in your heels, so much so that you can actually lift all 10 toes off of the mat. Take 1 more inhale here. And on your exhale, lift the hips, hinge forward, find your fold. Inhale, hands come to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands and step back to your high plank. You have the option to drop your lower down to your low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And from your down dog, take an inhale, lift the right leg up to the sky. Keep that hip closed. Squeeze the inner thighs together. And then step the right foot in between the hands, setting up for a warrior 1. So that left foot pivots down to a 45-degree angle. Toes point towards the top left corner of the mat. And we inhale to lift up. My hair is whack today. And then from here, start to bring your right foot a little further out towards the right edge of the mat. So we're creating a wider base. From here, we'll find humble warrior. So interlace the hands behind the back, just as we did in our ragdoll. Inhale, open through the chest, squeeze the shoulders together. And exhale, fold forward to the inside of the right knee. So the right shoulder comes inside the right knee, and the right hip continues to pull back as the left hip pulls forward. Not only are we opening through the shoulders, we're opening through the right hip, we're opening through the back of the left leg. Stay here for 3, for 2. On 1, inhale, lift all the way back up to warrior 1, and then just slowly heel toe that foot back to the center of the mat. Straighten through the front leg, bring your arms to grab opposite elbows, or find reverse prayer, whichever is more comfortable. And from here, we'll move into pyramid pose. Take an inhale, grow the crown of the head tall to the ceiling, and then exhale, hinge at the hips, and slowly start to fold forward. Avoid any rounding here. Keep the spine nice. Deep stretch up and down the back of the right leg, and in your wrists as well if you're in this reverse prayer position. Take 1 more full cycle of breath here. Inhale and exhale. And then bend the right knee as much as you need to. Bring the fingertips to frame the right foot. And we'll come into a standing split, lifting the left leg up to the sky. It doesn't have to be high, folding your body over your right leg. And if you'd like a balance challenge here, you can bring 1 or both hands to your right ankle. Of a challenge, or a lot bit of a challenge as I'm feeling right now. Take 1 more inhale here. And then bring the fingertips to the mat, look up halfway. We're gonna start to come into a warrior 3, so make sure that left hip is pointed down, the inner thighs are squeezing together, and then you'll just take your hands through heart center and lift up so the body is parallel to the ground. From here, just hold for 3, for 2, on 1, step the left foot next to the right, and we'll find our yogi toe lock pose. So make sure feet are hips width distance apart. Come down into a forward fold. Grab onto the big toes with the peace sign fingers. Bend at the arms and the legs to fold forward. Inhale, straighten everything, look up halfway. Exhale, bend the elbows, bend the knees if you need to, and come into your forward fold. Using that bend at the elbows, the strength of the biceps to pull the crown of the head towards the ground. Taking 2 deep breaths here. Last one. Slowly release, lift up halfway. Heel toe the big toes to touch. Keep that gap in the heels. Forward fold. And then inhale, chair pose. Breathing here. We're going to take that all to the other side. Take an inhale in your chair pose. Exhale, hinge and fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to your high plank. Option to drop the knees or lower down to your low push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Taking that to the other side, inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, step it through. Find your warrior one. That right foot pivots down at a 45-degree angle with the right toes facing the top right corner of the mat. Inhale to rise. And then start to heel toe that left foot out to the left side, creating that wider base for our humble warrior. Interlace the hands behind the back. Inhale. Exhale, fold. This time as the left shoulder comes inside of the, keep pulling the left hip back and the right hip forward. Breathing. Staying for 3, 2. Last one here. Use your next inhale to bring you back to warrior one. Bring that left foot back to center. And then straighten through the left leg. Choose your variation. Either grab onto opposite elbows or find reverse prayer, a bit more challenging. Inhale, stand up nice and tall. And exhale, hinge and fold. Keeping the spine long, feeling the stretch in the back of the left leg this time. Take 2 more deep breaths here. And when you're ready, slowly bend the left knee as much as you need to. Bring the fingertips to frame that left foot. Shoot up into your standing split, reaching the right heel to the sky, folding forward over that left leg. And then again, of course, you have the option to take that balance challenge, bringing one or both to the left ankle. A little bit off balance, but that's okay. Focus on the foot that's grounded. Focus on your breath. Engage your core. And on your next inhale, fingertips back down. Lift up halfway. Bring the hands through to heart center as you lift the chest up, paralleling yourself to the floor, finding your warrior 3. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Remember, your core helps you balance. We're here for 3, for 2. On 1, slowly bring that right foot down. And this time we'll take our gorilla pose variation. So bend the knees, fold forward. This time you'll slide the palms underneath the feet. The toes will touch the wrist creases. We'll inhale to look up halfway. Maybe the heels lift off the ground. And then exhale, bend the elbows, bend the knees, and fold forward. Even if the knees are bent, think about lifting the hips up to the sky and reaching the crown of the head down to the ground. Take 3 big breaths here. And slowly remove the palms from feet. Take an inhale, look up halfway, and exhale, step back to your high plank. From here, you can lower down halfway, dropping the knees if you need. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We'll start on the left side for our next and final standing sequence. Take an inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, tap the left knee to the left elbow. Inhale, externally rotate the hip, open up like a fire hydrant. Exhale, come back. Inhale, open. Exhale, come back. One more time, inhale, open. Exhale, come back. Step the left foot in between the hands and find your warrior two. Now, we externally rotated through that left hip to really make sure we're open for these open hip postures that we'll take. So now really pressing into the pinky edge sides of both the left and the right foot. Tee the arms out, relax the shoulders. And if you're like me and you lost your breath from that little bit of core work, come back to it here. Slow inhales, long exhales. We're gonna hold. One more inhale here. Exhale, release. And then inhale, flip the front palm and reverse your warrior. So keeping the body in this reverse warrior stance, we're gonna find a neck release. So keep the body as it is, just reach the left fingertips out in front of you, and you should already feel a stretch all the way from the top of the left neck down the arm. Now take that right arm and rest the right hand on top of the left ear, gently pressing right ear to right shoulder. We'll hold here, 2 deep breaths. At the bottom of your exhale, take your left forearm to your thigh, right fingertips reach up and over the head, spiral the chest open, find your side angle, and we'll take 3 breaths. Last one here. Inhale, reverse your warrior once more, this time straightening through the front leg. Come back to your warrior two just to transition, and then cartwheel the hands, step back to your high plank. Take a vinyasa, or you always have the option to just skip it and lift the hips right back up to downward facing dog. And that is my vibe right now. Take an inhale. Find your exhale. We'll take that on the other side before we come down to the mat for our final stretch. Take an inhale, lift the right leg up. Exhale, tap right knee to right elbow. Inhale, externally rotate, open up, fire hydrant. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Step the right foot in between the hands. Come up into your warrior two. Same focus, we're really pressing into the pinky edge sides of each of the feet, focusing on our open hips up to the side of towards our right fingertips. Our shoulders relax. Breathe here. One final inhale. Stay for your exhale. And then inhale, flip the front palm, reverse your warrior, right hand up and over the head. Breathing here. We'll find that variation with the neck release. So bring the right fingertips out in front of you. Take the left hand to the right ear and gently press that left ear to the left shoulder. Keep that bend in the front knee. 2 breaths here. And from here, we transition to our side angle, right forearm to right thigh. Left fingertips up and over the head, spiral the chest open. Belly button in, protect the low back by engaging the core. Take one last inhale and exhale. And then inhale, reverse your warrior once more, this time straightening through the front leg. Find that release. And then come into your warrior two just to transition. Cartwheel the hands. And let's just step right back to our downward facing dog. And when you arrive there, we'll drop the knees, cross the feet, and come on to our backs. Keeping it short and sweet today, we'll combine a nice hip release with our twist. So planting the feet down on the ground, make sure you can just graze the heels with the fingertips. We'll go ahead and cross that right foot on top of the left leg, finding our supine figure four, interlacing the hands behind the left thigh and pulling that left knee into the chest. Breathing here. Take a couple breaths just to open up that right hip. Really focusing on, as you pull the left knee in, feel that right knee push away from the center of the body. And then from here, listen closely. We'll just start to take the right foot all the way over towards the left side of the mat. Maybe it touches. And if it does, you're going to grab onto the right foot with the left hand, cactus the right arm out to the side, and take your gaze over towards your right side. So we're combining our outer hip opening here and our twist. You might feel this in the inner thigh as well, maybe a little bit in the quad. Couple breaths. Whenever you're ready, first turn the head and the neck back towards center, and then slowly unwind the legs, bringing them back down to the ground. And we'll take that to the other side, crossing left foot on top of right thigh, hugging behind that right thigh, taking the right knee in towards the face, pressing the left knee actively away from the face. Couple breaths here to open. And this time you know where we're headed, just on the opposite side. Gently let that left foot, keeping the legs as they are, fall all the way off towards the right side, grabbing on to the left ankle with the right hand, cactusing that left arm and taking your gaze over to the left side. When you're ready, slowly make your way back through center, unwinding the legs, and then hugging both knees into the chest and rocking yourself up to a seated position. If you'd like to take a traditional Shavasana on your back, go ahead and go there now. We're going to end in a short cross-legged seat, just for a moment to reconnect with our breath, to notice the effects of our practice. Notice any differences in the body, both mentally and physically. And just try and accept both those changes that you deem as negative and the changes that you deem as positive. Accept them both equally, without any judgment, just simply acknowledging, taking notes as if you're an outside observer. Bring your hands through to heart center, and we'll finish class with 3 cleansing breaths together. Take a big breath in. Pause at the top, hold the breath, let the belly expand. Exhale, sigh it out. 2 more. Inhale, fill up. Pause, hold. Exhale, let go. Inhale. Final exhale. Gently blink the eyes open. Thank yourself for making it onto your mat today, for committing this time to your mental and your physical body. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Make sure you comment below on this video. Let me know how you liked it. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for free weekly yoga and meditation. You can also follow me on Instagram at Calm with Carlyn. Thank you all so much. Namaste.